It says that we're live on YouTube right now, but we're not. Just give us some time.
I can go ahead and start adding folks into the event. Khalid.
Yeah, I just got off with let's admit everyone, and then once they're all in, y'all can take the show. We are now live.
Yeah, just like lighter, something that can like get a little bit better cast mileage.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for making it out here tonight. I am going to hand it over to Andrea Bailey to get the program started.
Thank you, Kelly, and good evening to everyone. We are in a time and a space in our country and in our state and in our counties where women lead, where women have taken the mantle to move forward, to lead our counties and our countries and our states in a greater and bigger way. I am one that have joined the League of Women who've decided that this country and this county belongs to us and this state belongs to us. And so we're locking arms to make sure that we're serving at a greater and higher level. I am Supervisor Andrea Bailey, and I serve here in Prince William County as a supervisor for the Potomac District. I'm fortunate because in my district, I have 2 senators and 3 delegates that I work with that help and guide and lead together to serve our county. When I heard that my friend Jennifer Carroll Foy would be leaving this great body of leadership, I was sad, but I understand she's a great leader. She's going to higher heights. When I found out that my friend Candi King, had taken the mantle and the torch from Jennifer to move us forward in the state of Virginia, I was elated. So I welcome you this evening. Hold on to your seats. You're going to learn about a woman that is great, that is tenacious, that is strong, that is committed, that's ready to do the job, hit the ground running and do the job. So I'm thankful that she's given me the opportunity to be her friend and to be her colleague as we work together in this great state, this great Commonwealth of Virginia, to serve at a higher level. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to an even greater leader, one who took the mantle, made us proud, and continues to lead us as women in the state of Virginia to serve greatly and to make sure that all communities are taken care of. Our speaker for the state of Virginia, Eileen Phillicorn.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Bailey, and also my friend. Thank you for that kind introduction. And thank you to everybody on this call for supporting our next delegate representing HD2, Candi King. Over the past year, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve as Speaker of the House of Delegates. And together we have accomplished so much, from raising the minimum wage to passing the Equal Rights Amendment, to enacting common sense gun safety laws like universal background checks that keep all of us, especially our kids, safe, and so much more. When we were faced with dual crises of an unprecedented pandemic and systemic racism, our majority stepped up. We didn't hesitate when Virginians needed us to deliver at the onset of COVID-19. We acted swiftly, making sure we kept our seniors safe, stop bad corporate actors from profiting off the pandemic. We kept Virginia families that are struggling financially in their homes. And we passed financial support for small businesses and workers, and so much more. And at the time, we met the moment when many in our country had their eyes open to tragic consequences of systemic racism by passing bold criminal justice reforms. However, all this was possible because of the immeasurable efforts and hours that each of us put during the 2019 election to flip the House. And you know what? We cannot let it slip away. The next 2 years, starting with the upcoming session, will be just as critical to Virginia's future as the past one. The work we put in now will determine how quickly we can end this pandemic and rebuild a stronger, fairer, and more sustainable economy here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. But it won't happen if we lose the majority. My Republican colleagues have shown time and time again that they can't be trusted to lead Virginia during this crisis or afterwards. From the very start, they've sown conspiracy theories about public safety measures, called COVID-19 a fake pandemic, and acted recklessly, putting lives at risk. That is a party that will bring national mismanagement of COVID-19 right here to Virginia. And if given the chance, they'll roll back all the progress that we have made. And there's been a lot of it. The fight for our future starts by electing Candi King to the House. By electing Candi, we will send a community and small business leader to Richmond to fight for the people of HD2. Candi is Virginia through and through. After she graduated from Norfolk State, she decided to raise her family right here in Fairfax County. And when her eldest child was diagnosed with autism, Candi stepped up to advocate, not just for her child, not just for her family, but for every family raising a child with special needs in her district. If you don't know Candi, that's who she is. She's a fighter, she's a doer, and she doesn't just look out for herself. She finds ways to do good for every member of her community. That's the type of people we need in Richmond. That's why I need you to send Candi to the House. Please send her to Richmond to join our caucus. By winning this election, we will make clear to our Republican friends and to everyone observing, following us around the country, that Virginia Democrats took the House in 2019 and they're not losing it in 2021. We're going to build upon our successes. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for supporting Candi. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting our leader for the House. Thank you for supporting our majority. Let's elect Candi King and let's get this done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. We're so proud of you. I tell you, as she said, if you want someone to get the job done and to work for everybody, Candi is the person to do that. And what better person to tell you more about Candi King than her friend, who's known her since she was a child, Senator Louise Lucas. Senator, we're so excited to have you with us this evening. Please join us. Senator, I think you're muted. Okay. Senator, can you unmute, please? And turn your camera on. We see that you're there. There, I can see you. Just hit the mute. It's in the lower left corner with the microphone. Hit that one. We can see you, Senator. If you can unmute. There you go.
Now
Very
I'm
good.
unmuted.
Very good.
Thank you so much. I was struggling trying to get on there, and I was listening to Madam Speaker as she was talking about our good friend Candi. And of course, I've known Candi to be a worker, a doer. She's done so much in the Commonwealth. But I want to tell you what I know about her as a community, a person in the community who's done so much. I can remember when she came to my office, she said, I just want to shadow you to see what you do. She has learned enough about my job to be the senator. So I know she's going to make a good delegate. She's worked tirelessly in the trenches with Delta Sigma Theta sorority with our 5-point thrust. And there's never a job that Candi has been asked to do that she hasn't been willing to step up to the plate to take care of. I know she's going to do a good job in the House of Delegates. And look at all these wonderful people who are supporting her. I'm just so happy to be able to join all of you in supporting her in this bid. And of course, as you all know, money is the mother's milk of a campaign. And so I want to challenge everybody on this call and all of your family and friends to make sure that you put money in the pot for Candi for this run for the House of Delegates.
Thank you, Senator Lucas. One thing about Senator Lucas, she keeps it real. She says, put money in the pot for Candi. Don't forget that. And I want to take an opportunity before we move on just to acknowledge some faces that I see on the screen that's come to support Candi. I see my mayor from Dumfries, Mayor Derek Wood. Mayor Wood, welcome. I see the president of the NAACP, Reverend Cozy Bailey. Thank you for joining us, sir, this evening. We appreciate you. Our communities would not be as robust and strong as they are if we don't have legacy figures in our community. So I do see Dr. George M. Hampton on the screen, and thank you, sir, for joining us, one of our statesmen in the community. So as we move on, as you can tell, we know Candi. That's why we want her to go to the General Assembly to be there to do the work for us. We know Candi. And so let me introduce you to someone that knows Candi very well, but she knows us even better. And she's worked diligent and hard for us in every respect as she went to the General Assembly. And now she's going to do greater things as she moves forward. Let me introduce you to the Honorable Jennifer Carroll Foy, candidate for the governor of the state of Virginia.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that introduction, Supervisor Bailey, my friend. And hi, everyone. I am Jennifer Carroll Foy, and it has been the honor of a lifetime to represent the people of the 2nd District. I want to thank you. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting me to pass the Equal Rights Amendment so we can finally enshrine women's equality into the United States Constitution. Thank you for helping me to lead the charge to pass Medicaid expansion, so now almost 500,000 Virginians have access to affordable health care. Thank you for trusting me to clean up toxic coal ash, where right in Possum Point in Prince William County, people were being poisoned with coal ash toxins seeping into people's well water. And thank you for trusting me to invest millions of dollars towards our transportation projects and Metro. And as I fight and run to fight for you as governor, I know that Candi will be the best representative for the 2nd District and who will fight for you in the House of Delegates. As a bold, progressive community leader, a former small business owner, and an employee at a nonprofit organization, Candi has the public service background and the experience to help us defeat this invisible enemy called COVID-19, to help us build a successful post-COVID economy and get people back to work and school, while also addressing the inequities in our healthcare, our education, and our environment. So thank you. Thank you for supporting my friend. And we have so much work to do. We have to keep the 2nd District blue. So give to Candi's campaign. Give now. Give until it feels good. Give until you know that she's going to win, because it's going to take everything we got in order to defeat our opponent on January 5th. So I'm standing with Candi, and the question is, will you stand with us? So now I'm so happy and excited and proud to introduce the dynamic, the incomparable, the next delegate for the 2nd District, Miss Candi King.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It is truly an honor to be with you this evening. If you would have told me 10 days ago that I would be sitting at home on a Zoom with more than 50 amazing people to support a bid for the Virginia House of Delegates, I would have said, oh, you've got to be kidding. But you know, in my heart, at my core, I am a girl who grew up in the projects of Portsmouth, Virginia, with very little, who knows what it means to feel hunger, who knows what it feels like to have less than, and who knows what it feels like to fight for every single thing I wanted in life. And you know, the decision to run for the House of Delegates is a decision that was honestly made between midnight and about 7 a.m. in the morning. And I prayed and prayed. As a mom of 3, as a working mom, as a person who works in this community, we can say I already had a full plate. So why add this? Simply put, because someone believed enough in me to deposit in me the skills needed to do this job. If there were not a Senator Lucas, if there were not a speaker, if there were not an Andrea Bailey, a Margaret Franklin, if there were not a Jennifer Carroll Foy, if there were not an Ann Wheeler, if there was not a Louise Lucas who took a young girl under her wing, a Senator Yvonne Miller who thought that my ideas were good enough to consider and wanted to teach me how to turn ideas into action. If they had not sacrificed for me, I have no idea where I would be. So I'm here to fight for the community that I love, for the families of Stafford, for the families of Prince William, for those of us who spend so much time in traffic, for those of us whose children are going through virtual or hybrid learning, for those of us who want a bright future for each child that comes behind us. That is why I've decided to run for the Virginia House of Delegates. And I can't do it alone. It will take each person here. I need your help. We can't take this seat for granted. We can't allow people whose ideals and principles do not match the ideas and principles of our community. We cannot have those people represent us down in Richmond. So I need your help. Please donate. Please volunteer. Please phone bank. We have everything set up and we want to reach every member of this community because together we can come out of this pandemic stronger than ever before. But we have to do it together. And I have to take a moment to thank this host committee. It is by no accident that these are amazing women who are running the world and running our Commonwealth and doing so much to move Virginia forward. So there was no way that I could start this journey without them. But there are a few other people who I want to thank also. I want to start with my incomparable husband, who has been the most amazing support system and my biggest cheerleader. And I am just so grateful for a partner who believes in me and who will push me to do things, even if I'm a little afraid. So I just want to honor him. I also have to take a moment to honor two very special members of our community who were so responsible for getting the word out about our campaign during the caucus period. And that is Ms. Vera and Mr. Emmett Fletcher. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your calls. Thank you for encouraging me and believing in me. You have made a world of difference. I also have to thank a friend who, they say you have to ask a woman 7 times to run for office before she will even consider running for office. And I want to thank a friend who would never accept my excuses, and that is the Councilwoman Salonia Miles from Dumfries. She encouraged me, she believed in me, and she never let me allow excuses to get in the way of what we could do together. So Salonia, thank you so much for that reminder. And last week was a whirlwind. It was 4 days of hitting the pavement, calling folks, working really hard. But on Friday, when we had our candidates forum, I really listened to my peers and I thought, this could be anyone's race. So I want to thank Roja, Naisha, Keisha, and Pam. Thank you so much for putting yourself out there, for putting your bold ideas out there. And I want to thank you for stepping up to serve our community. You were amazing competitors. And I want to take this moment to thank each of them for endorsing this campaign. And we will hear more about that later, but each of them has endorsed this campaign, and I'm extremely grateful for their support, because this is the party of the Big Tent. We are the party that together we can change the face of this Commonwealth. We can build upon the things that the speaker spoke of. We are that party. So it's important that we move forward together. And I just want to tell you that if I'm elected, there are several things, and I'm sorry, the Fletchers made me realize when I'm elected, because words have power. When I'm elected, I promise to be a voice. And even if I have to stand alone, I will stand for what is right in our community. I promise to be accessible. I feel as though everyone knows where I live anyway, so call, email, your issues are my issues. And I promise to fight for what is right, to fight for what we are owed, and to fight for our children. So please visit our website. It's in the chat, CandiKingForVA.com. Visit, donate, volunteer. We have a canvas tomorrow morning. You can get the information on the website. Please come out and support us. The future is at stake, and we need to keep this seat on the right side of the aisle and out of the hands of the other side so that we can move forward together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Candi. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our next delegate for House District 2. Before I introduce the next person, I want to help you remember what Candi says. Just get in touch with Cowie. Where is she? She's not on the screen, but her campaign manager, that she can guide you into any, there she is, any way that you want to participate. It's just that critical that we participate in any and every way. Just want to take an opportunity to recognize Candi is a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, a powerful national women's sorority that understands the power of politics. So she has her sorors on screen tonight supporting her. The Honorable Lily Jesse, who is the school board representative for Occoquan. One of our small business owners here in the community, Tabitha Turman, the CEO of IFAS. And of course, Miss Vera, her cheerleader, Vera Fletcher. And then lastly, I wanted to introduce and acknowledge our own African-American chair for the caucus for the Democratic Committee, L.T. Pridgeon, who's making waves and just pounding the pavement for all of the candidates here in the community. LT, we appreciate you and thank you for joining us tonight. So now I want to bring forth someone who is my friend. She and I were on the line this afternoon, and what was going to be an hour call, it was a 2-hour call because she is committed. She loves Prince William County. She's been an advocate for social justice and social services in our community for years. And she's a quiet storm. Remember that song, Quiet Storm, that gets it done. She is our chair of the County Board of Supervisors, Supervisor at Large, Ann Wheeler.
Thank you. And I am so honored to be among so many wonderful women speaking tonight. It's a powerhouse of room and legacy and so much knowledge on just of everybody in this group. And I'm honored to speak in support of Candi King, for HD2. I got to know Candi last year during the election time, but one of the things that I have the most memory of is last year after the election, being invited to her home for Kwanzaa, as a Kwanzaa celebration. And she invited me and I showed up and she made me part of that celebration and integrated me and showed me around and let me meet people. And what that really showed me is that she's someone who brings people together and is a community leader. And that's sort of the feeling I got because everybody just was like, oh, well, Candi's in charge, right? Candi's in charge. And she was just sort of running things. And listening to people speak about her tonight, I realized there are so many things that she's going to bring to Richmond that we need. I'll highlight, the knowledge of labor that we all need to know, have down there going forward. The knowledge of knowing special needs, the knowledge of understanding what families are facing these days, the knowledge of having been a small business owner, the knowledge of a nonprofit. All of those things are going to make her a great delegate down in Richmond and representing not only Prince William County, but all of Virginia. I know we send people down there to represent Prince William County, but the things that come out of Richmond affect the entire Commonwealth and make us a better place to live. And so I'm looking forward for her spreading that throughout the Commonwealth. I think about some of the difficulties in perhaps replacing Jennifer Carroll Foy. I'm like, oh, well, it'd be a hard act to follow, but I'm sitting here and I'm listening. I'm like, I think we have found a great person to fill the shoes of Jennifer Carroll Foy, which is a hard thing to do. And I know that Candi is just going to go down there and be part of and be a leader from the time she gets down there because she understands the Commonwealth as well as our community. And I'm grateful for that. It also makes me think of special elections. The tide in Prince William County started with a special election of April 2017 with the election of Jackie Smith to the clerk of the court. It was a special election. They say no one pays attention, oh, there's no way we can win this. And we blew it out of the water in Prince William County. And here we are again, how many years later, with a special election with so much more power than we had in 2017, in regards to being, coming together and being connected. And so I really expect us to blow this one out of the water. I think it's a done deal. And not that we all shouldn't work. I'm looking forward to donating and making phone calls for Candi, and I'll do my part. We all have to do our part, but we've got a really good coalition in Prince William County to help get people elected. I saw that last year, and I look forward to making sure that we use everything we can to help Candi King get elected down in HD2 and make sure we send her to Richmond. And I know we're going to, and I look forward to her serving Prince William County along with so many of our other great legislators down there. So I'm honored to be here, and good luck, Candi. I look forward to working for you over the next, albeit short time frame. We're going to knock it out of the park.
Thank you, Chair Wheeler. You are so encouraging to us. And as I look at Senator Lucas' face, she is so proud. She is so proud right now. She's beaming with joy. Know that you've done a great work to prepare Candi to come to this point.
Well, what makes me really proud is just knowing that if Senator Yvonne Miller were here, she would be so proud. I just can't imagine.
Don't start it.
Because Candi was like our baby. I mean, she was with me, she was with Senator Miller. She was hungry for knowledge. She had a thirst for opportunities to be able to participate. And those were the things that, Senator Miller was also my mentor. And just to know how proud I know she would be of Candi at this moment. I just couldn't leave without saying that, because Candi was she was like our baby. She stayed with us, went with us everywhere, and learned everything there was to learn about it, participated in the community. I'm telling you, Senator Miller would have been I'm sorry to make you cry, Candi, but Senator Miller would have been so very proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I knew you would do it. Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. So now I want to say to the platform, there are a group of us who are all sisters that started this journey together, and we've had our successes to serve at a higher level. And I'm honored to work with a young lady she is smart, she is important, and she's kind, but she's wonderful. She's wonderful to work with. She's wonderful to achieve with. She's my supervisor buddy, Supervisor Margaret Angela Franklin.
Well, thank you all for being here tonight in support of Candi. Literally everyone else has said what we all know to be true about Candi and the King family. I've known them ever since we got involved in the party several years ago. I think we probably all got involved at the same time. And, just getting to know them, developing that relationship with them. And it's funny, Chair Wheeler mentioned the Kwanzaa events, and I almost forgot about that because of COVID. Obviously, we didn't do one. Actually, maybe you all did do one because I was right on the cusp. But the reason why I bring that up is because they have always been family people. They have always been community people. They have always been service oriented. And Candi has always been the center of making sure that everyone felt included in whatever the King family was doing. And I so appreciate that. We've always had conversations with regards to the party and how to move it forward. But what makes me comfortable in supporting Candi are the conversations that we had off record, just as friends, about how to move the community forward. That's what makes me comfortable, because those are conversations we don't have to have. Those are conversations that she doesn't have to be bothered with if she weren't someone who actually cared. And it's so interesting when, Delegate Foy stepped down and, there was kind of a hair on fire situation. Who's going to represent the 2nd district and what are we going to do? And then everyone filed to run. And I said, to be honest, I know most of these candidates, and I'm quite confident in whoever that wins. And then when Candi came out, it made perfect sense. And she will do just fine there in Richmond. I am confident about that. I know everyone on this call is confident about it. And we need to do whatever we can to propel her forward. So my ask is to get involved, to give money. This is a challenging time, but whatever you can give will help us in the next 3 weeks move this forward. I can tell you that we are all committed to moving Candi forward. Delegate Foy has already sent me a to-do list for Candi, for me to do for Candi. So I don't have a choice but to just go all in because the delegate told me to. And then separately, Candi has already sent me a to-do list as well. So we're ready to get on the ground and start working, and we've already done that. And so I'm asking you to help us the next 3 weeks in pushing Candi forward, keeping this seat. And I just know that she's going to be a wonderful delegate. So thank you, Supervisor Bailey, for that introduction. And thank you, Candi, for running. Thank you, Josh, for being supportive. And thank all of you for the work that I know we're all about to do together. Thank you all.
Prince William, thank you, Supervisor Franklin. Prince William County is about doing it all together and getting it done. And I look on the screen again and I see Ms. Joyce Connery, who is always dedicated to getting it done, with her potlucking policy that we all attended to make sure that the agenda was moving forward. So now I bring forward to you someone that is very special to our state in terms of getting it done and working with the speaker to get it done at any time, any level. You can call her late, she's awake, and she's getting it done. Ladies and gentlemen, our House Majority Leader, Charnel Herring.
Thank you, Andrea, my dear friend. How are you? And thank you all for being here to support Candi. And I'm gonna choke up. I've got to mention Senator Miller, because if I just did the math, it was only 36 years ago that the first African-American woman was ever elected to the General Assembly. Only 36 years ago. It was not that long ago. And Candi, for you to have worked with her, that's something. And of course, to work with Senator Lucas, they are the queens of the General Assembly. And I am just gonna say it. So they are, and as an African-American woman, you can appreciate that these women are iconic, and for you to have known her, and I'm blessed to have known Senator Miller and dear friends with Senator Lucas, that what a great role models that you had before you. And my job here is a call to action. So I will share with you all that 12 years ago, I was sitting exactly where Candi is. We had just elected Barack Obama president. Everyone was excited. Everyone thought, oh, Charnel, she's gonna have no problem. That district went, nearly 80% for Obama. If Brian Moran, who was my predecessor, that's a strong Democratic district. I had to campaign just like Candi right now. It's holiday season. And then finally, I get to my general election. I only win by 16 votes. No joke. 16 votes. So this is not by any means something that is guaranteed for Candi, okay? And then I'll tell you why. Let's face it, Republicans want a way to come back. If they get even close to Candi, that fuels them to then go spread the word that they can actually fit seats in the General Assembly. So we don't need Candi to win by just one vote. I mean, one will get us there, but we've got to blow it out of the water. We have got to teach everybody that the values that they voted for in this past November, they still remain. We've got to show everybody that the voters of Prince William County understand that this, and Stafford, that this is about continuing with our values. We cannot let this seat go. It is so crucial, because I tell you, Prince William County, is my personal opinion, it's a bellwether for the entire state. So Candi, also, one other point I want to make is that you will be joining a special election group. The speaker came in a special. I came in a special. There is something different about those who run in special elections. We're typically very hungry, and we typically do it. And so we're behind you. So for everybody, it was already mentioned, you can volunteer. I know that I'm sure there's virtual phone banks where you can just do it from home. Absolutely. And I think I saw in the chat, Candi King for VA/give. She needs all the money she can get, because she's got to leave it in the field. We've got to make sure she clears it, and clears it strong, because that's going to make it easier in her reelection. And I just thank all you all for being here. And this is, again, historic, and I'm so proud of you, Candi. And I want to thank Delegate Jennifer Carroll Foy for her service to the state. And I love you all. So thank you for being here supporting Candi.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. We really appreciate and we love you too. And there is something about the special elections. It makes us rev up, get it started. Jennifer Carroll Foy says, get it started. In a week time, we were campaigning for Candi. But I want to say something about Candi in closing. One of the things that she's a very gracious leader. She was gracious in acknowledging tonight her opponents that she had this weekend. For each one of them, whenever I talked to her, she talked nothing but how great they were and what a contributor they were. And so we have to remember as leaders to have that same type of standard when we speak of one another or when we're advocating for a community, to be gracious. And so we're going to close out. We're about 4 or 5 minutes over, and I don't want Kari to get me in trouble, or I don't want to get in trouble with her. But I want to remind you that she can't do it alone. She needs you to volunteer. She needs you to give money. She needs you to stand with her. She needs you to go the extra mile when you're tired, because we cannot lose this seat. We will not lose this seat. Why? Because we have Candi as our candidate. When she hits the ground running, she'll know what to do. She's been there before. She's got leaders there to support her with open arms. When she's feeling a little uncertain, they'll tell her what to do, but she'll do the work. She will do the work. So we thank you for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure. Every smile that's on this face, every determined heart that's on this screen, we will get her over the finish line and we will keep the seat. So I'm going to turn it over to her campaign manager at this time to give you more information. Thank you and God bless, and Merry Christmas to you all.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you, Leader Herring and Andrea for this amazing call to action. I just wanted to say, reemphasize what I put in the chat. If you would like to volunteer with our campaign, feel free to give me an email at gallery@vahousedems.org. Shoot me an email. I'm happy to connect you to volunteer opportunities that are upcoming in the next couple of weeks. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. It's so wonderful to see so many faces, so many friendly faces. Thank you so much for coming out, and have a good night.
Have a good night. Congratulations in advance.